Welcome all my beloved 6th grade primary school. Today you will have a very important revision for this exam, and I hope you will benefit from this revision. So please concentrate in our revision today. Please, if you can, record this episode and record all the questions if it's possible. So without delaying, our time today is not enough. So let's start our first question, which is complete the following sentences. In this question, I advise you, please read the question carefully till the end word. اقرا السؤال لآخر كلمة لأن ربما يكون محتاج منك ترتيب معين. So let's start our first question, which says that the human skeletal system consists of what and what again? The question says that the human skeletal system consists of two parts, which are, three parts: axial skeleton and appendicular skeleton. So again, the human skeletal system consists of two main parts, which are axial skeleton and appendicular skeleton. Another question says that the axial skeleton consists of three main parts, which are, again, the axial skeleton consists of three main parts, which are skull, backbone, and rib cage. Skull, backbone, and at last rib cage. Again, the axial skeleton consists of skull, الجمجمة, backbone, العمود الفقري, and the rib cage, القفص الصدري. So another question. The axon of the nerve cell is surrounded by what sheath? Sheath يعني cover, يعني غطاء. Again, the axon of the nerve cell, we know the drawing of the nerve cell is surrounded by myelin sheath. Myelin sheath, which is a fatty layer for protection of the nerve cell or the axon of the nerve cell. Again, axon of the nerve cell is surrounded by myelin sheath. So let me remind you with the drawing of the nerve cell. نفتكر مع بعض what is the drawing of the nerve cell. ايه هو رسم الخلايا العصبية. تاني نرسم مع بعض. We will draw the nerve cell. Let us draw the nerve cell. We know it consists of two main parts, which are the cell body. It's the cell body. And it is the axon. Axon لسه قايلين هو متغطي بكفر اسمه myelin sheath. So what about this cover? This cover is units or include units like this, which is called myelin sheath. So all of them are myelin sheath, and this is the axon. Okay, again, this is the axon. So the axon ends with very important branches, which is called terminal dendrites. Terminal dendrites. So what about the cell body? Cell body contains, as any cell body زيه زي أي خلية, contains nucleus, and another part which is cytoplasm, and another important part which is cell membrane or plasma membrane, cell membrane, and another important branches which is called dendrites. Another branches which is called dendrites. So again, the nerve cell contains two main parts, which are cell body and the axon. The axon ends with terminal dendrites, and the axon is covered with units of myelin sheath. Myelin sheath يعني غلاف الميلين. And the cell body contains nucleus, cytoplasm, and it's covered by cell membrane, and it also contains dendrites, which is used in connecting with the neighboring cells. So again, the drawing of the nerve cell is very important, and you must label the drawing only. You cannot, or you needn't to draw because it's not wanted from you. So again, you are wanted only to label the diagram of the nerve cell and another other important drawing in our syllabus this year. So again, concentrate in all the drawing because they are all very important. Again, you are asked to label the diagram only, not drawing the diagram. So let's complete our questions about the first type of question, which is complete the following sentences. Another question says that the point is the site of two points meeting. The point is the site of two points meeting. Surely it will be the joint. The joint is the site of two points meeting. Again, joint المفصل is the site of two bonds meeting. Another question. The gray matter in the spinal cord appears in the shape of the letter. Again, the gray matter, المادة الرمادية الموجودة في النخاع الشوكي spinal cord appears in the shape of the letter H. Again, the gray matter in the spinal cord appears in the shape of the letter H. Another question. Point gas is used in filling car tires, but point gas is used in dry ice. We know from the first term studying that point gas is used in filling car tire. Surely it will be nitrogen gas, and carbon dioxide gas is used in the dry ice. So here I have a very important give reason question. Give reason, we use nitrogen gas in filling car tires because nitrogen gas has constant volume when temperature changes. So let me write this question. This question is very important. Give reason. Okay, let me write this question. Give reason. Nitrogen gas or N2 gas is used in filling car tires. Surely the answer would be that because nitrogen gas has constant volume when temperature it changes. Or we can say in another words, because nitrogen doesn't affect or isn't affected by the change of temperature, so it will have constant volume. So we prefer to use nitrogen gas in filling car tires rather than any other gas because it has constant volume rather than any other gas. So another question of complete question again. The question says that point gas is one of the components of the gunpowder, but point gas composes the ozone gas. Again, point gas is one of the components of the gunpowder, البارود. gunpowder يعني مسحوق البارود, which is used in fireworks. But point gas composes ozone gas. Surely the answer would be that nitrogen gas is one of the components of gunpowder because it's in an inactive gas or it's azote. It's called azote. هو غاز غير نشط أو غاز خامل نسبيا. So we use nitrogen gas to store gunpowder or store flammable or any material which will burn or explode like petrol, like gunpowder and so on. So what is the gas which is used in ozone gas? Surely it will be oxygen gas. So I'm sure all of you know that ozone gas has the symbol O3. ozone gas رمزه O3 عشان كده هيكون أكيد الغاز اللي جواه هو oxygen gas. So again, nitrogen gas is one of the components of the gunpowder, but oxygen gas composes ozone gas. Another question. Point gas is used with acetylene for welding metals. Point gas is used with acetylene for welding metals. Surely, what is the gas which helps in burning? Surely we know that from our previous study in primary 4. So it will be oxygen gas. غاز الأكسجين بيساعد على الاشتعال عشان كده بنستخدمه مع الأسيلين للحام المعادن. Again, oxygen gas is used with acetylene for welding metal. Oxygen gas, we know that it helps in burning process. So it is used with acetylene for welding metals. And we know it will give a very high temperature flame which reaches 3500 Celsius. Another question. Point is the measuring unit of mass, but point is the measuring unit of weight. Surely we know it's the first lesson of this year, of first term. Point is the measuring unit of mass. Surely it will be gram, kilogram, ton, anyone else, okay? So what is the measuring unit of weight? It will be Newton. Newton is the only measuring unit of weight. So again, gram is the measuring unit of mass, but Newton is the measuring unit of weight. Another question. The two types of thermometers, أنواع الترمومترات are Celsius thermometer and medical thermometer. We have studied two types of thermometer. درسنا نوعين من الترمومترات which are Celsius الترمومتر المئوي and medical thermometer. medical الترمومتر الطبي. And we know that Celsius thermometer start from 0 Celsius and ends at 100 Celsius. So what about the medical one? It will start at 35 Celsius and ends at 42 Celsius. So what about 37 degree? 37 is a normal temperature of the human body. So again, we must know how to compare between the two types of thermometer. We have started. لازم نعرف كويس أو نعمل comparison أو مقارنة بين السيلسيوس thermometer and medical thermometer. Another question or another type of question, it will be write the scientific term. And in this question, I advise you again to read the question carefully, especially the first word or the first two words. Why? Because a scientific term has a secret word or has secret two words which are the first word or the first two words. هم مفتاح الحل غالبا بيكون في أول كلمة أو أول كلمتين. For example, if the question says that the system inside your body that controls all the processes. السؤال بيقول لي جهاز بينظم كل حاجة داخل جسمك. So I must write system. هنا بيقول لي system يبقى أكيد هكتب system. Surely it will be the nervous system. Another question which for example it will say that a device which is used to measure the temperature of the human being. هنا بيقول لي جهاز بيقيس حرارة جسم الإنسان. Surely it will be the thermometer. So we must concentrate. لازم كويس أوي نركز the wanted question and the keywords أو secret word. مفتاح الحل أو الكلمة السرية غالبا بتكون أول كلمة أو أول كلمتين. So let's practice this type of question. The question says that the axis of the skeleton or the skeletal system. Again, the axis of the skeletal system, محور الجهاز الهيكلي أو محور الهيكل العظمي. Surely it will be the vertebral column. Vertebral column. Another question. Upon a case that contains brain inside. Upon a case or upon a box. علبة عظمية تحتوي على المخ بداخلها. Surely it will be the skull. الجمجمة. Again, the upon case that contains brain inside it, it will be the skull. Another question. Structure which consists of 33 vertebrae. Structure يعني تركيب أو عضو في جسم الإنسان. Again, structure هنا مقصود بيها مش تركيب خارج جسم الإنسان، لا مقصود بيها an organ inside the human body. So, which consists of 33 vertebrae. Surely, I'm sure all of you know this question. It will be the vertebral column or the backbone. العمود الفقري هو اللي بيتكون من 33 vertebrae. Another question. The system which is responsible for the communication and coordination between human body systems. Again, the system which is responsible for the communication and coordination between human body system. Surely it will be the nervous system. Again, the system which is responsible for the communication and coordination between human body system, it will be the nervous system. Another question. The body organ which is responsible for reflex action. The body organ which is responsible for reflex action. مين هو العضو المسؤول عن رد الفعل المنعكس؟ Maybe it will be the brain. Surely wrong. ليه هنا مش هقول brain؟ Because it will be the spinal cord. درسنا قبل كده ان spinal cord اخذ تفويض من البرين ان يقوم باي حاجه خاصه بالريفلكس اكشن. فلازم نركز كويس قوي في السؤال ده. السؤال ده ممكن يخدعنا. بيقول لي the body organ عضو في الجسم which is responsible for reflex action. مسؤول عن رد الفعل المنعكس. It will be the spinal cord not the brain. Please note that. لازم نركز قوي في السؤال ده. Spinal cord again is responsible for reflex action not the brain. Another question. The part of the nervous system which consists of 43 pairs of nerves. The part of the nervous system which consists of 43 pairs of the nervous system. I think it will be difficult question, so let me calculate how many nerve does the body or does our body contain. ناخد بالنا كده كويس قوي كل الأعصاب اللي في جسمنا تقريبا كام عصب بالظبط. So sorry, we have studied a very important part of the nervous system which is the peripheral nervous system أو الجهاز العصبي الطرفي. And we know that peripheral nervous system contains or consists of two main parts which are the cranial nerves الأعصاب المخية and spinal nerves الأعصاب الشوكية. So let me remind you what's about or what's the number of the nerves inside our body. So we have started a very important part of the nervous system, which is the peripheral nervous system. Let me write with you to calculate the nerves inside our body. Peripheral nervous system, or PNS, contains two main parts, which are cranial nerves and spinal nerves. الأعصاب الشوكية والأعصاب المخية. So how many cranial nerves does our body have? We have 12 pairs. We have 12 pairs. So what about the spinal nerves? We have 43 pairs. So, sorry, I'm so sorry. We have 31 pairs. I forgot, sorry. We have 31 pairs of spinal nerves and 12 pairs of cranial nerves. So if we add those nerves to those nerves, we can calculate them. 12 plus 31, surely it will be 43 pairs of nerves. So the answer will be that peripheral nervous system. يبقى السؤال كان رقم غريب شوية علينا. The 43 pairs of nerves, so they will be the peripheral nervous system, not only the cranial nerves or not only the spinal nerves. So the answer will be the peripheral nervous system. Again, peripheral nervous system contains two main parts of nerves, which are spinal nerves, which are 31 pairs of nerves, and cranial nerves, الأعصاب المخية, which is 12 pairs of nerves. So if we add all of them, if we make plus, لو عملنا plus الاثنين مع بعض, we can get 43 pairs of nerves, which is the peripheral nervous system. So this question would be that peripheral nervous system. Again, the question says the part of the nervous system which consists of 43 pairs of nerves, it will be peripheral nervous system. Peripheral nervous system. Another question, the automatic or autonomic response of the body to different stimuli. Again, the automatic response, الاستجابة التلقائية من الجسم to different stimuli لأي مؤثر خارجي. stimuli معناها مؤثر أو مؤثرات، والمفرد منها أو السنجلر منها stimulus، ودي كلمة لاتيني ما بتخضعش لقواعد الإنجليش. أوكي؟ stimuli معناها مؤثرات، ومؤثر واحد بس يعني stimulus. So the automatic response of the body to different stimuli is the surely the reflex action، رد الفعل معكس. such as what happen if something gets near your eye. لو شيء قرب من عينيا I can close my eye or blink my eye. برمش بعينيا أو بقفل عينيا. Why? Because it's a reflex action. So let me remind you what is the organ which is responsible for reflex action. Surely it will be the spinal cord، النخاع الشوكي مش البرين. Please ركز قوي في النقطة دي يا جماعة لأنها مهمة جدا. Reflex action is automatically response of the body to different stimuli, and it's controlled by the spinal cord, not the brain. Again, the reflex action is the automatic response of the body to different stimuli. Another question. The structure that links the brain. links يعني connect أو join، يعني هو تركيب أو عضو في الجسم بيوصل البرين to the spinal cord and responsible for involuntary actions، مسؤول عن أي حركات لا إرادية. ناخد بالنا هنا بقول حركات لا إرادية يعني حركات داخل الجسم أو actions inside the body such as the movement of the stomach. Can any one of us stop the stomach movement؟ حد فينا يقدر يوقف حركة الستومك؟ Again, can any one of us stop the circulation of the blood or the heartbeats؟ نبض القلب for example. We cannot do that. Why? Because it's involuntary actions، هي أفعال لا إرادية which is controlled by a very important part of the brain which is the medulla oblongata. medulla oblongata أو النخاع المستطيل أو جذع المخ زي ما بنسميه، وده جزء مهم جدا من البرين and it links between أو join between، بيوصل ما بين البرين أو السيريبرم وبيوصل كمان بينه وبين السباينال كورد. So medulla oblongata is a very important part. I think medulla oblongata is the most important part of the brain because any infection، أي إصابة أو أي for example touch inside this part of the brain means death، معناها لا قدر الله الوفاة. So we must care with dealing with ourselves. لازم ناخد بالنا في التعاون مع بعض، بلاش الفايلنس شديد أو العنف، لأن أي خبطة شديدة في الميدالا أبلونجاتا it will mean death، معناها فورا الوفاة أو الموت. So we must take care of that. So again, the structure that links between the brain or the cerebrum هو أكبر جزء في المخ and the spinal cord it will be the medulla oblongata and it has a very important function or job. دي وظيفة مهمة جدا which is controlling the involuntary actions أفعال لا إرادية inside your body such as heartbeats نبض القلب such as movement of stomach, movement of small intestine, large intestine, blood circulation and so on. Anything inside your body that you cannot control or you cannot stop or even if speed up this process is controlled by a very important part which is called medulla oblongata. So another question. The question says that the instrument means device الجهاز used for measuring the temperature الجهاز اللي بيقيس الحرارة surely it will be the thermometer. Again, the instrument used for measuring the temperature it will be the thermometer. Thermometer is a very important device which we use for measuring temperature and we cannot depend on sense of touch. مش لازم ابدا نعتمد على حاسة اللمس. Why or give reason? Because it's not accurate لأن هي مش دقيقة. So again, an instrument used for measuring temperature it will be the thermometer. And we have studied again two types of thermometer which are Celsius thermometer and medical thermometer. Celsius thermometer and medical thermometer. Another question. An instrument used for measuring temperature of patient. هنا سؤال متخصص شوية. سؤال بيقول لي جهاز بيقيس temperature of patient. درجة حرارة المريض. Again, temperature of patient. Surely it will be the medical thermometer. Medical thermometer أو الترمومتر الطبي. So again, an instrument or a device جهاز used for measuring temperature of patient. It will be the medical thermometer. Another question. A device used for measuring temperature of liquid. Measuring temperature of liquid. برضه سؤال متخصص تاني لكن بيقول لي حرارة السوائل or atmosphere أو حتى كمان حرارة الجو. So it will be the Celsius thermometer الترمومتر المئوي. Celsius thermometer. Okay. So again, a device used for measuring temperature of the liquids or atmosphere. It will be the Celsius thermometer. So another question. A form of energy نوع من الطاقة that transfer from the body of high temperature to the body of lower temperature or from hot things to cold things. So surely it will be the heat energy. So again, a form of energy that transfer from the hot materials to the cold materials. It will be heat energy. Another question. The degree of hotness or coldness of a body. The degree of hotness or coldness of a body. درجة سخونة أو برودة أي جسم. It will be the temperature. So we must differentiate. لازم كويس أوي نفرق بين تعريف temperature وتعريف درجة الحرارة أو تعريف درجة الحرارة سوري وتعريف الطاقة الحرارية. So let me revise again. A form of energy نوع من الطاقة that transfers from the hot materials to the cold material. It will be heat energy. But what about the other definition, which is the temperature, the degree of hotness or coldness of the body? Surely it will be the temperature. Again, temperature is the degree of hotness or coldness of the body. Another question. The boiling point of water. Here I need the number. هنا عايز الرقم كويس قوي. درجة غليان المية كام تقريبا أو كام بالظبط؟ It will be 100 Celsius. So again, the boiling point of water, it will be 100 Celsius. Again, the boiling point of water, it will be 100 Celsius. The boiling point of water, it will be 100 Celsius. And we know that this 100 Celsius is the end point of the Celsius thermometer. The boiling point of water is the 100 Celsius. And this degree is the end point of the Celsius thermometer. Another question. The freezing point of ice, surely it will be 0. We know that درجة تجمد الثلج أو درجة تجمد المية أو انصهار الثلج they are the same meaning هم نفس المعنى تقريبا. يعني الدرجة اللي بتحول عندها الثلج المية أو المية الثلج they are the same meaning هم نفس المعنى. It will be 0 and we know that 0 is the start point or the start degree of the Celsius thermometer. هي درجة بداية الترمومتر المئوي. Another question. A mixture of different gases that surrounds the Earth's surface and attracted to it by gravity. A mixture of different gases. خليط من غازات مختلفة. For example, such as oxygen, nitrogen, carbon dioxide, water vapor, and so on. These gases or this mixture surrounds the Earth's surface and is attracted to it by gravity. Surely it will be our atmosphere or atmospheric air, هو الغلاف الجوي. A mixture of different gases that surrounds the Earth's surface and is attracted to it by gravity, it will be atmosphere. A gas which is prepared from hydrogen peroxide. ايه هو الغاز اللي بيتحضر عن طريق decomposition تحلل أو تفكك للهيدروجين peroxide. Surely it will be oxygen gas because we know that hydrogen peroxide معناه كده بالعربي فوق أكسيد الهيدروجين أو أكسجين plus water. If we decompose it لو حللناه من بعضه هيديني oxygen water اللي بنسميه كمان commercially باللغة التجارية شوية مية الأكسجين أو oxygen water. So let me remind you with this equation because this equation is very important. So if I have oxygen water لو عندي مية أكسجين and in the presence of catalyst في وجود عامل مهم جدا بنسميه catalyst أو عامل حفاز it will decompose هيتفكك and will give us هيديني two important substance which is oxygen and water. So let me draw the equation. نكتب المعادلة مع بعض. Oxygen, water in the presence of catalyst في وجود حاجة اسمها catalyst يعني عامل حفاز which is manganese dioxide powder. manganese مادة اسمها manganese dioxide powder. What happened to this oxygen water? It will decompose هيتحلل and give us two important substances which is oxygen plus water. So I can prepare oxygen gas by this way. ممكن نجمع الاكسجين جاز عن طريق الطريقة ديت او الاسلوب دوت ان بعمل حاجة اسمها decomposition تحلل for oxygen water in the presence of a very important chemical substance which is the catalyst اللي هي العامل الحفاز which is here وهو هنا بالتحديد في التجربة ديت is called manganese dioxide powder. Again, the catalyst is called here manganese dioxide powder. So another question. A way of collecting oxygen gas in laboratory. طريقة بنجمع بيها الأكسجين gas in laboratory. We know from the drawing of oxygen gas we can collect this gas, oxygen gas, by downward displacement of water. بنجمعها عن طريق طريقة بنسميها downward displacement of water because we know that oxygen gas scarcely dissolves in water. نادرا ما بيدوب في المية. هو مش بيحب المية تقريبا خالص يعني في بينهم عداوة كبيرة قوي من زمان. So again a way of collecting oxygen gas in laboratory by downward displacement of water. إزاحة سفلية للمية because oxygen gas is scarcely نادرا dissolves in water. نادرا ما بيدوب في المية. مش بيحب المية. Another question. A way of collecting carbon dioxide gas in laboratory. A way of collecting carbon dioxide gas in laboratory. الطريقة اللي بجمع بيها الكربون دايوكسيد the opposite of the other way is upward displacement of air. هي إزاحة علوية للهواء. Why? Because carbon dioxide gas is heavier than air. لأنه هو أتقل من الهواء. So again we have two ways of collecting oxygen gas and carbon dioxide gas. Let me remind you the previous question. A way of collecting oxygen gas, it will be downward displacement of water. إزاحة سفلية للمية. So what about the way of collecting carbon dioxide gas? It will be upward displacement of air. So what about the way of collecting nitrogen gas? الطريقة اللي بجمع بيها nitrogen gas. It's the same like the oxygen gas. It will be downward displacement of water. Downward displacement of water. So oxygen gas and nitrogen gas are collected by the same way. بنجمع الأكسجين والنيتروجين بنفس الطريقة. Downward displacement of water إزاحة سفلية للمية. لكن بنجمع الكربون دايوكسيد عن طريق upward displacement of air إزاحة علوية للهواء. So another question which is right scientific term again. The question says that levers that contain the fulcrum between effort force and resistance. ايه هي الليفرز اللي بتكون فيها الفالكرم ما بين الافورت فورس والريزيستنس؟ surely it will be first class lever. Again we have studied three type of lever. 3 انواع من الروافع او levers. The first type which has fulcrum between effort force and resistance. Again fulcrum which has a symbol O. فكركم تاني نقطة مهمة جدا، الفالكرم رمزه في الليفرز O مش F. Okay؟ لكن الريزيستنس R and the force F. So another question, lever that contains the resistance between effort force and fulcrum. ايه هي الليفر اللي فيها الريزيستنس in the middle between effort force and fulcrum? Surely it will be second class lever. Another question, lever that contain the effort force between fulcrum and resistance. الليفر اللي بيكون فيها effort force او F هي اللي in the middle, it will be third class lever. So let me summarize what's the secret word of the lever. ناخد بالنا كويس قوي ازاي نقدر نحدد نوع الليفر بمنتهى السهوله وما نتلخبطش بينهم. We have a secret word، في كلمه سريه اسمها ORF. ORF. Let me write this word ORF. Okay? It's a very easy word. ORF. ORF. If O in the middle، لو ال O هي in the middle اللي هي الفالكرم يعني، it will be first class lever. If R in the middle, it will be second class lever. If F in the middle, it will be third class lever. So again, if fulcrum in the middle، لو الفالكرم هو اللي في النص، ماليش دعوه بقى بالاطراف مين، it will be first class lever. If R in the middle, it will be second class lever. If effort force in the middle, it will be third class lever. So I think it's very easy way to classify any lever at your home or any lever at the exam. So again, we must revise the word ORF. If O in the middle, it will be first class lever. If R in the middle, it will be second class lever. If F force in the middle, it will be third class lever. And I remind you again بفكركم please fulcrum محور الارتكاز ليه رمز O مش رمزه F. Okay? So another question says that the fixed point of the lever, the fixed point of the rigid part or of the lever, it will be the fulcrum. Again, the question says that the fixed point of the rigid part, it will be the fulcrum. Another question, the distance between the effort force and the fulcrum, the distance between the effort force and the fulcrum, it will be effort force R. Again, it will be effort force R. The distance between the effort force and the fulcrum, it will be effort force R. The distance between resistance and fulcrum, the distance between resistance and fulcrum, it will be resistance R. It will be resistance R. Another question, a part of the light bulb. The light bulb, I am sure all of you like this lesson because it's a very easy lesson and intelligent at the same time. درس المصباح الكهربائي أو درس اللمبة and all about the type of lamp is the great scientist Edison. I am sure all of you like this lesson very much. So the question says, a part of the light bulb is made of thin glass and contains an enlarged gas. جزء من المصباح الكهربي بيتكون من thin glass زجاج رقيق جدا وجواه غاز خامل inert gas او argon gas. Surely it will be the glass bulb. هو ده اول جزء في اللامب اللي احنا بنشوفه من بره وده اللي بنسميه glass bulb او الانتفاخ الزجاجي. Again, a part of the light bulb is made of thin glass and contains an inert gas. It will be glass bulb. Another question, a part of the light bulb, again a question about the lamp, that is coiled thin wire made of tungsten. جزء من اللايت بالب عبارة عن coiled thin wire، سلك رفيع وحلزوني أو ملتف made of tungsten، مصنوع من عنصر اسمه التنجستين. Surely it will be the filament، الفتيلة filament. And we know that why we use tungsten in making filament. ليه بنستخدم تنجستين تحديدا في الفيلامنت؟ Because tungsten has high melting point. So it's a very important give reason question. Let me write this question. سؤال مهم جدا في الgive reason. سؤال بيقول لي give reason the filament of the light bulb is made of tungsten. So let me write this question. The filament, it will be give reason. Surely the filament of light bulb, the filament of the light bulb is made of tungsten. ليه بستخدم تنجستين تحديدا في الفيلامنت؟ because we know that tungsten has high melting point. Because tungsten has high melting point. So again, we use the tungsten in making the filament of the light bulb because tungsten has high melting point than the other any element. If we replace the tungsten with another element or with other element such as iron, aluminum and so on, surely the lamp will not give light and will burn immediately because tungsten has high melting point or has higher melting point than the other element. For example, tungsten عنده تقريبا درجة انصهار قد ايه؟ For example, 3500 Celsius or 3400 Celsius. And I think or I'm sure this is the most or the highest melting point of the element. هو عنده أعلى درجة انصهار في كل العناصر عشان كده بنستخدم التنجستين. So again, the question says that give reason. We use the tungsten for making the filament of the light bulb. Give reason because the answer again الإجابة هتكون because tungsten has high melting point. So another question, and it's a scientific term question again. The question says that it's a closed and continuous path through which the electric current will pass. Again, the question says that it's a closed and continuous path through which the electric current will pass. هو ممر مغلق بتمر فيه الشحنات الكهربائية. Surely it will be the electric circuit الدائرة الكهربائية. And we must concentrate, we must differentiate. لازم نفرق بين electric circuit و electric current. circuit الدائرة الكهربائية، لكن electric current التيار الكهربي. So again, it's a closed and continuous path. لو لقيت بس كلمة closed path ممر مغلق, it will be the electric circuit or it will be the electric circuit. Again, it's a closed and continuous path through which the electric current will pass. It will be the electric circuit. Another question. The way where the bulbs are connected in branching routes. الطريقة اللي بنوصل بيها اللمبات in branching routes بطرق متفرعة. I will remind you, we have studied two ways or two types of connecting lamps, which are series connection and parallel connection. Which is one or which one of them is branching routes. مين الطريقة اللي بوصل فيها اللمبات بالbranching routes بالطرق متفرعة؟ Surely it will be parallel connection. And we know which is preferred than the other. مين مفضل على الآخر؟ Surely parallel connection is preferred. طبعا البارل هو الأفضل بكتير على الإطلاق. ليه؟ Because in parallel connection all the lamps works independently. كل المصابيح أو كل اللمبات بتشتغل بشكل استقلالي أو بشكل مستقل عن الآخر. So if one lamp damaged or burned out, لو في لمبة اتحطمت أو اتكسرت أو اتحرقت, all the other lamps aren't affected. باقي اللمبات ما بتتأثرش. So again, parallel connection is preferred. سؤال مهم جدا في give reason. Again, parallel connection is preferred. So let me write this question. The question says that parallel connection, نكتب مع بعض. Give reason. Parallel connection. Parallel connection أو التوصيل على التوازي زي ما بنسميه. Connection is preferred. So the answer will be that because parallel connection or because in parallel connection all the lamps work independently. So again, all the lamps works independently. So if one lamp burns out or turns off, all the other lamps aren't affected. So again, we prefer the parallel connection. Why? Because the parallel connection, all the lamps work independently. كل المصابيح بتشتغل بشكل استقلالي أو بشكل مستقل عن باقي اللمبات. So if one lamp is damaged or burned out or unscrewed, لو حتى فكيناها, all the other lamps aren't affected. And we have seen a very important video of this while we are studying this lesson in the second term. So again, the way where the lamps or where the bulbs are connected in branching routes, it will be the parallel connection, not series connection. Another question says, the American scientists who invented the light bulb. العالم الأمريكاني أو الأمريكي العظيم جدا اللي اخترع المصباح الكهربي. And I'm sure all of you know his story and his drama and his struggle in his life، كفاحه في الحياة عشان يوصل للمستوى العلمي الكبير دوت. It will be the great scientist Thomas Alva Edison, and I advise you in this summer vacation في اجازه الصيف we can read about this great scientist. ممكن نقرا كتير قوي عن العالم ده and I'm sure we will have benefited from his life. ممكن جدا نستفيد من حياته and other scientists who helped in the environment اللي ساعدوا البيئة and all the humanity وكل الإنسانية. So again the American scientist who invented the light bulb it will be Thomas Alva Edison. And you can write Edison for example. ممكن بس أكتب Edison مش لازم أكتب Thomas Alva Edison or complete name Thomas Alva Edison or the abbreviated name أو اسم مختصر Edison. Another question. Complete the following sentences. Points are small openings that are widely spread on the point surface of the plant leaf. This question is from the last lesson we have studied about the transmission of water through the plant. The transmission of water through the plant أو انتقال المية والsalts inside the plant. So what are the small opening that are widely spread on the plant leaf? Surely they will be the stomata. Stomata أو الفتحات أو الثغور زي ما بنسميها باللغة العربية. They are small opening. هي فتحات صغيرة جدا موجودة على البلانت ليفز أو أوراق النبات and it's widespread. هي موجودة بشكل أكتر أو منتشرة بشكل أكتر on the lower surface السطح السفلي للنبات أو لورقة نبات. So again stomata are small openings that are widely spread on the lower surface of the plant leaf and this is for reducing the transpiration process. ليه ربنا خلق الاستوماتا أقل على الأبر سيرفيس وأكتر على اللور سيرفيس؟ عشان يقلل عملية مهمة قوي بنسميها transpiration عملية النتح. and in this process the plant loses water. نبات بيفقد المية فعشان يحافظ على المية especially in hot areas في المناطق الحارة أو الساخنة زي الجو اللي احنا فيه الأيام ديت. So it will lose water. So to save water عشان يحافظ على المية stomata are widely spread only on the lower surface. لكن الupper surface ما فيهوش more stomata عشان ما يعملش عملية فقدان المية كتير. So again stomata are small openings that are widely spread on the lower surface of the plant leaves. Another question. The concentration of the plant inside the root hair vacuole is higher than its concentration in the soil. So again the question says that the concentration of what is higher in hair vacuole is higher than, so it will be surely the salts. So if I talk about the concentration of water, so it will be the opposite. The concentration of water inside the hair vacuole will be less than. Again الووتر في السويل اكتر، السولتس في النبات اكتر. We have studied that. درسنا قبل كده ان السولتس تركيز الاملاح في النبات اكتر، تركيز الميه اكيد في السويل اكتر. مين عنده ميه اكتر؟ السويل ولا البلانت؟ اكيد السويل. لكن هيكون الاوبوزيت، هو تركيز السولتس تركيز الاملاح هيكون اكتر في البلانت، عشان كده كميه الميه قليله في البلانت او في الهير فاكيول. So the salt will be higher in concentration، اعلى في التركيز than the concentration of the soil. So another question. Nutcracker كستارة البندق and bottle opener وفتحة الزجاجات are considered from the point class level. Surely they will be. I will not answer this question, but I will draw the nutcracker and bottle opener. Let me draw the bottle opener to know how to determine the type of lever easily. Imagine that I have a bottle like this. Okay. And this is the bottle opener. All of us know this. Here is the effort force, and here is the resistance, and here is the part which will move is the fulcrum. Fulcrum again has the symbol O. So, which part here is in the middle? O or R or F? Surely R. Let me remind you the secret word O, R, F. If R in the middle, لو الار هي اللي في النص، هي اللي في المنتصف، it will be the second class lever. So again the bottle opener and the nutcracker كسرة البندق وفتحة الزجاجات, all of them are from the second class lever. And we have another example of second class lever, such as a stapler, such as wheelbarrow, and so on. So again, nutcracker and bottle opener are considered from second class lever. second class lever أو رافع النوع التاني. Another question. The electric shock occurs as a result of passing what through the human body. الصدمة الكهربية أو الماس الكهربائي هو ناتج عن مرور إيه داخل جسم الإنسان؟ Surely the electric current التيار الكهربي. The electric shock occurs as a result of passing electric current through the human body. Passing the electric current through the human body. Another question. The point implant is surrounded by two guard cells. The point implant is surrounded by two guard cells. Surely the stoma. The stoma هنا هو المفرد والستوماتا هي الجمع. يبقى again زي كلمة stimuli و stimulus. الكلمات دي ما بتخضعش للإنجليش بتاعنا لأنها كلمات لاتيني. So again the stoma implant is surrounded by two guard cells. الستوما محاطة بخليتين بنسميهم two guard cells أو خلايا حارسة عشان يتحكموا في controlling the opening and closing the stoma and save water as possible. عشان يتحكموا في قفل أو فتح الستوما ويحافظ على المية بقدر الإمكان. So again الستوما أو الفتحات اللي موجودة في أوراق النبات ليها خلايا حواليها بنسميها two guard cells أو خلايا حارسة ودي مهمة جدا because they control the opening or closing the stoma during the day for saving water. Another question. This question is about the Lamb's law and I am sure all of you know this question. Force by its arm equal what by what? Force by its arm equal resistance by its arm. القوة في ذراع القوة بتساوي المقاومة في ذراع المقاومة زي ما بنسميها باللغة العربية. So again this Lamb's law ده قانون الروافع ده قانون مهم جدا. We use this Lamb's law in answering the problems of lever. Force by its arm equal resistance by its arm. Another type of question which is choose the correct answer. And in this question I advise you please read the question carefully till the end choice. السؤال لآخر اختيار and maybe I have two choices right, I have three choices, I have all the choices, all the previous. ربما يكون في أكتر من اختيار صح A and B, A and C, A, B and C, all the previous. تاخد بالنا كويس قوي مش لازم يكون في اختيار واحد بس هو ال right، ممكن يكون في أكتر من اختيار right. So again read the question carefully and read all the choices. اقرا كل الاختيارات. The first question says that all the following are from the third class lever except. كل الحاجات اللي جايه دي او كل الليفرز من الثيرد كلاس ليفر اكسبت ويل بارو، فيش هاك، مانوال بروم، سويت هولدر. كل الليفر دي من النوع الثالث. لكن مين هو اللي مش من النوع الثالث؟ because I have here except. all the following are the third class levers except. surely it will be the wheelbarrow. wheelbarrow او عربة الحديقة we know it's a second class lever. هي من النوع الثاني. So let me draw this wheelbarrow to determine what is lever, what type of lever it is. Okay, let me draw this lever. I think it's a very simple drawing for the wheelbarrow. And we can use this wheelbarrow from those two handles. So here is the effort force. We can put here the resistance, the something that I want to move, and here is the fulcrum. Here is the wheel, the fulcrum. Which part in the middle? It will be R in the middle. Surely R in the middle here. So wheelbarrow أو عربة الحديقة is a second class lever. Second class lever. Why it's second class lever? Because it contains resistance between effort force and fulcrum. Because it contains effort force between resistance and fulcrum. And by this question, we have reached not the end of this episode, but we have a break. And please don't go away because we'll resume or we'll complete our important revision about what we have studied all this year after a while. Now, goodbye, and we'll meet again after a while. Thank you. Okay, so we will resume our revision about this, what we have studied this year, the first term and second term for our exam, inshallah, this week. So we have another collection of important questions which we have studied. So the question says that the light bulb consists of three main parts, which are المصباح الكهربي consists of three main parts, ثلاث أجزاء رئيسية, which are the base, قاعدة المصباح, and the glass bulb أو الانتفاخ الزجاجي, and also the filament. And we know that the filament is made of tungsten because it has high melting point. So again, the light bulb consists of a base, glass bulb, and the filament. Another question: the gas which is used in the electric lamps. The gas which is used in the electric lamps is what? Surely it will be the argon gas. The argon gas is used in the electric lamp. غاز الأرجون أو الغاز الخامل, which is called inert gas, is used in the electric lamp, and we know this gas is very important. Why? Because it prevents burning. هو بيمنع الاشتعال and doesn't assist or doesn't help burning. So again, the gas which is used in the electric lamp is argon gas. Another question: transpiration is a process. Transpiration عملية النتح عملية مهمة جدا. Where the plant the plant loses water. نبات بيفقد الماء. So again, transpiration is a process where the plant loses water. The plant loses water. Another question: lunar eclipse أو خسوف القمر occurs in the بيحصل امتى تحديدا؟ occurs in the middle of the lunar month. بيحصل تقريبا في منتصف الشهر القمري. Again, lunar eclipse occurs in the middle of lunar months. Another question: the outermost layer of the plant root is called, الطبقة الخارجية جدا أو أول طبقة من الخارج في جذر النبات is called what? Is called epidermis أو طبقة البشرة. Again, the outermost layer of the plant root is called epidermis. Another question says that materials are classified into what and what according to their conductivity of electricity. المواد بنقسمها ل A و A حسب توصيل الكهرباء. Surely they will be electric conductors and electric insulators. Electric conductors أو موصلات كهربائية and electric insulator وعوازل كهربائية. Again, materials are classified into electric conductors and electric insulators according to their conductivity of electricity. Another question: during the solar eclipse, the outer solar corona keeps on emitting harmful rays such as what and what? Such as ultraviolet and infrared radiation. Again, such as ultraviolet and infrared radiation. So we must take care. لازم ناخد بالنا كويس قوي. We mustn't look at the sun directly during solar eclipse. Why? Because it emits harmful rays such as ultraviolet and infrared that may cause blindness. ممكن تسبب عمى لا قدر الله. عشان كده لازم ناخد بالنا كويس قوي during eclipses. We mustn't look at the sun directly, but we must wear special glasses. لازم ألبس نظارة خاصة بالموضوع دوت، لأن الموضوع خطر جدا جدا، ممكن لا قدر الله يؤدي إلى blindness أو losing vision، فقدان البصر. Another question: suction pump is what, while pint is a second class lever. suction pump أو ترمبة المياه هي surely first class lever، لكن مين هو ال second class lever؟ For example, wheelbarrow, stapler, bottle opener, nutcracker, any one of lever we have studied is second class lever will be right here. But suction pump is a first class lever. So why suction pump is a first class lever? Let me draw the suction pump and how to determine the suction pump, the lever of suction pump. So suction pump is like that. Here it has a handle like this, نرسم مع بعض, and it also has a bottle or has a tap for water, and it has an inside axis. So here is the effort force, my hand here. Here is the water, so it will be the resistance. Here is the something which move، هو الجزء اللي بيتحرك او الاكس اللي بيتحرك بنسميه fulcrum، بياخد رمز O زي ما اتفقنا قبل كده. So surely suction pump أو ترمبة المياه it will be first class lever. It will be again first class lever. Why? Because here here O in the middle, O in the middle between the resistance and effort force. O in the middle between the resistance and effort force. So again, suction pump is a first class lever. Why? Because O in the middle between effort force and the resistance. Another question. Mass is measured by what? Whereas weight is measured by what? Again, we know that mass is measured by gram, for example, or sorry, measured by balance scale. لما يقول لي measured by بيكون عايز الجهاز أو الديفايس، لكن measured in عايز اليونت. So I'm sorry, I have a mistake. So again, mass is measured by balance scale, whereas weight is measured by spring scale. Again, الفرق بين measured by و measured in. measured by بحتاج فيها الجهاز، measured in بحتاج فيها اليونت. So again, mass is measured by balance scale, for example, or 2-arm scale, 1-arm scale, digital, any scale which we will use for measuring mass, but weight is measured by only one scale, which is called balance scale. Only one scale, which is called spring scale. Again, mass is measured by balance scale, but weight is measured by only one scale, which is a spring scale. So another question. Mass is the amount of matter. Mass is the amount of matter that the body contains, and it doesn't change according to what? According to, for example, place. Mass is an amount of matter, and it doesn't change according to the place. So mass is constant value. For example, if your mass here on the Earth 50 kilogram, your mass on the moon will be 50 kilogram. Your mass on the Jupiter, the biggest planet, will be 50 kilogram again, or 2. Why? Why mass doesn't change? Because mass doesn't affect. الماس ما بتتأثرش by changing the place. Another question. An object's weight depends on what and what? Object weight depends on mass. As we know, mass affects weight, and the mass increase when weight increase, and vice versa. Also, the place, المكان كمان بيأثر على ال weight, and also the distance from the planet center. The distance from the planet center. So we have 3 factors affecting the weight. So again, the weight is variable. Why? Because the weight depends on. ليه الويت متغير أو ليه الويت بيتغير من مكان لمكان on the earth or on the universe على سطح الكرة الأرضية كلها أو العالم كله, because it depends on بيعتمد على 3 factors, which are mass الكتلة, place المكان الموجود فيه الجسم اللي بحسب الوزن ليه, and also the distance from center المسافة من مركز الكوكب اللي بتكلم عنه. So again, weight is variable but mass is constant. الويت متغير لكن الكتلة ثابتة. Another questions. All metals are point conductor of heat. All metals are good conductor of heat. Surely all metals are good conductor of heat, such as iron, aluminum, copper, gold, silver, nickel, and so on. So all metals we have studied, even if the mercury is a metal but it's a liquid. Mercury is the only metal which is liquid. Mercury metal لكن هو الوحيد اللي liquid في كل metals. So again, all metals are good conductors of heat, so we use them in making, for example, cooking pots, cooking pans, and tea boilers, and so on. So again, all metals are good conductor of heat. So what about the bad conductor of heat? Bad conductors such as wood, plastic, glass, wool, air, paper, and so on. So another question. Point conducts heat faster than aluminium. Points, or what is the metal which conducts heat faster than aluminium? Or again, in another way, this question, مين هو المعدن اللي بيوصل حرارة أسرع من أي معدن تاني? Surely it will be the copper. Copper metal conducts heat faster than aluminium. بيوصل حرارة أسرع من الألومنيوم. Again, copper conducts heat faster than aluminium. Another example. Some examples of good conductors of heat are point and point. Surely we can write aluminium, iron, copper, gold, nickel, any metal you can write in this question. So again, some examples of good conductors of heat are iron and copper. Iron and copper. Another question. Some usages of good conductors of heat are point and point. Some uses هنا عايز استخدامات. We must concentrate please. ركز قوي في قراية السؤال. بعد استخدامات ال good conductors of heat such as cooking pots and tea boilers. Cooking pots أو أواني الطهي and tea boilers which is we use for boiling tea. It must be made of good conductor of heat such as aluminum or stainless steel or iron and so on. So again, some uses of good conductors of heat are cooking pots and tea boilers. Another question. Some examples of bad conductors of heat are wood, plastic, air, paper, glass, wool, and so on. So again, some examples of bad conductors of heat are wood and plastic. Another example or another question. Some uses or some usages of bad conductors of heat are, هنا عايز استخدام مش عايز examples. Again, we must concentrate in reading question. Please اقرا السؤال كويس قوي والآخر كلمة. Some usages of bad conductors of heat are point and point. بعض استخدامات للباد كوندكتورز أو المواد رديئة توصيل الحرارة. Surely they will be handles of cooking pots مقبض أو يد أواني الطهي and heavy clothes الملابس الثقيلة. Again handles of cooking pots and also heavy clothes أو الملابس الثقيلة. Give reason question. سؤال مهم جدا كلنا غالبا في كتير قوي بيخافوا منه، انا مش عارف ليه. هو سؤال مهم قوي لكن في نفس الوقت هو سهل جدا. We must read this question till the end of the word and you can say the answer in your brain with Arabic language, with English language, with any language, you know, and you can write this answer simply in your paper exam. لازم الاول احدد السؤال اللي هو طالب مني ايه، ولازم اعرف كويس قوي هجاوب ازاي قبل ما اجاوب، وبعد كده اكتب الاجابه بشكل مبسط. مش بنحب قوي اللونج answers لكن بنحب قوي الشورت answer but it must be right answer. يعني اجابه تكون واضحه ودقيقه مش لازم تكون طويله قوي. So let's practice how to answer the give reason questions and what is the simple answer, what is the right answer for all these questions. So the question says that, the first question says that the root hairs are of thin walls. The root hairs أو الشعرات الجذرية are of thin walls. ليه ليها جدار رقيق؟ Surely to allow the penetration of water and salt through it. Again, to allow عشان تسمح the penetration of water and salt through it. تسمح باختراق أو مرور المية والأملاح من خلالها. يبقى دي ربنا خلقها بجدار رقيق عشان تدخل المية والأملاح للنبات. ممكن نكتب بطريقة تانية to allow the passage of water, to allow the moving of water and salts through it. يبقى ممكن نكتب بأكتر من طريقة بأكتر من word أو أكتر من لفظ أو أكتر من صياغة بس لازم يكون صح. So again, the root hairs are of thin walls to allow the penetration of water and salts through it. Another question. Argon is used in electric lamps instead of. ليه بستخدم الارجون في اللمبات بدل اي غاز تاني؟ Surely the answer would be that because argon is an inert gas لانه هو غاز خامل that prevents burning بيمنع الاشتعال. Again, argon is an inert gas that prevents burning بيمنع الاشتعال. So argon is used in electric lamp because argon is an inert gas لأنه هو inert gas غاز خامل that prevent burnings or doesn't burn. Another question. This question is very important not for the exam only but for your life. Water cannot be used to put out the fire resulting from electricity. الووتر ما ينفعش استخدمها عشان اطفي بيها اي fire ناتجة من electricity اي حرائق كهربائية. Why? Because we know that water is good conductor of electricity. المية موصل جيد للكهرباء because it contains salt تحتوي على الأملاح. So surely we cannot use water. But what can we use for putting out fire? We can use, for example, sand or we can use fire extinguisher. ممكن استخدم الرملة أو fire extinguisher طفاية الحريق. So again, water cannot be used to put out the electric fire or the fires resulting from electricity because water is good conductor of electricity. Another question. Sometimes the first class lever saves effort. أحيانا the first class lever saves effort. Let me remind you what is the structure of the first class lever. خلوني أفكركم تركيب ال first class lever. We know that first class lever contains what in the middle? Contains surely the fulcrum. So if I draw it, fulcrum in the middle here, fulcrum in the middle, look here, and I have resistance and effort force. at the two ends or at the tips. So when does the lever or any lever, first, second, third lever, save effort؟ امتى الليفر بتوفر مجهود او بنسميها كده has mechanical benefit، ليها فايده ميكانيكيه. We have only one condition. If the effort force arm is longer than the resistance arm. شرط واحد بس مفيش غيره for the lever to save effort. What is this condition? Is that effort force arm must be longer than the resistance arm. لازم يكون ال effort force arm أكبر من resistance arm. So in this type of lever, the first type, we have O in the middle between F and R. So when does this lever save effort? When the effort force arm here, the effort force arm here, which is blue in color, اللون الأزرق ده, must be longer than the resistance arm. But they are the same here. So if O transfer in this way، لو ال O اتنقلت شوية للمكان ده, it will not save effort. طب لو اتنقلت لل R, surely it will save effort. For example, imagine that I have here F, O, R. Where is the resistance arm? This distance only. Where is the effort force arm? This distance, all this distance. So which one is bigger? Which one is taller than the other or longer than the other? It will be effort force arm. F dot arm. So it will save effort if only the effort force arm longer than the resistance arm. So any lever can save effort if one condition is applied. لو في شرط بس هو اللي اتحقق. What is this condition? Is that effort force arm must be longer than the resistance arm. So this condition sometimes found in first class lever and always found in the second class lever and never found in the third class lever. So what is the best type of lever? Surely second class lever. Why? Because it always has effort force arm longer than the resistance arm. دايما بيكون الليفر اللي من النوع الثاني هي افضل نوع. ليه؟ عشان عندها نفس الشرط ده effort force arm longer than the resistance arm. النوع الاول او first class lever احيانا بيكون كويس. Sometimes. Why? Because sometimes effort force arm longer than the resistance arm. But what about third class lever? It will be the worst. هو أسوأ نوع على الإطلاق. Why? Because it has effort force arm less than or shorter than the resistance arm. So we use third class lever for what? It doesn't save effort. For two purposes or for two uses only, which are accuracy in performance, دقة في الأداء, such for example we use the forceps or tweezer, and avoid danger, تجنب المخاطر. We use third class lever only for not saving effort. هي مش بتوفر مجهود خالص, but it will used, هي بتستخدم for two uses only, which are avoiding danger, تجنب الأخطار, such as I can use cold tongues, ماسك الفحم, for holding tongue, and also I can use them for avoiding danger and accuracy in performance, الدقة في الأداء. For example, that tweezer, which is the doctors or the surgeons use during the making the operations or the surgical operation أثناء العمليات الجراحية. So again, نرجع تاني لسؤالنا عشان تهنا كتير قوي بره. The question says that sometimes first class lever save effort. دي أحيانا بيوفر مجهود النوع الأول if only that I have one condition when the effort force arm is longer than the resistance arm. هو ده الشرط الوحيد الموجود لأي ليفر عشان تكون بتعمل save effort أو has mechanical benefit. ليها فايدة ميكانيكية أو بتوفر المجهود. So again, the question says that when sometimes the first class lever saves effort, the answer will be that when the effort force arm is longer than the resistance arm. Again, when the effort force arm is longer than the resistance arm. And I remind you that the best type, أحسن نوع في lever, is the second class lever. Another question. The atmosphere has a great importance for the continuity of life on the Earth's planet. الاتموسفير ليه أهمية مهمة جدا أو ليه أهمية عظيمة جدا لاستمرار الحياة على كوكب الأرض. Again, the atmosphere has a great importance for the continuity of life on the Earth's planet. Surely would be that because atmosphere protect us from ultraviolet radiation. And also we can write many reasons for this question, because in atmosphere we will find oxygen gas for respiration, because in atmosphere we will find nitrogen gas that make protein in our food, because in atmosphere there is carbon dioxide gas that helps in the photosynthesis process or the base of photosynthesis process, which is done by the plant. Also, we have many reasons for the atmosphere. So again, the question says that the atmosphere has a great importance for the continuity of life on the Earth planet. Another answer, or one answer, one reason of these reasons, because atmosphere protects us from ultraviolet radiation. Another question, carbon dioxide is used to extinguish fire. Carbon dioxide is used to extinguish fire. Why we use carbon dioxide to extinguish fire? Because we know that carbon dioxide doesn't burn and doesn't help in burning. هو ما بيشتعلش وكمان ما بيساعدش في الاشتعال. So again, because carbon dioxide gas doesn't help in burn. Because carbon dioxide gas doesn't burn and doesn't help in burning. Another question. Yeast is added to the dough of making bread. اللي بنضيف الخميرة للعجائن في صناعة الخبز. What is the rule of the yeast؟ ايه هو الفانكشن او ايه هو دور الخميرة او وظيفتها؟ Surely we know that because yeast produces carbon dioxide gas that make the bread spongy and tasty. لأن الخميرة بتخلي العيش أو بتطلع carbon dioxide gas during fermentation process أثناء عملية التخمر، وده بيخلي البريد أو الخبز أو المخبوزات كلها spongy and tasty. Spongy يعني اسفنجية وكمان tasty طعمها لذيذ. So again, yeast is added to the dough. That question says that yeast is added to the dough on making bread. اللي بضيف الخميرة للعجائن أثناء الخبيز. The answer will be that because yeast produces carbon dioxide gas that make the bread spongy and tasty. That make the bread spongy and tasty. Another question. This question is very important because we have many points in this question. Clear lime water gets turbid if carbon dioxide gas passes in it. ماء الجير الرائق بيتعكر لما بنمر فيه أو بيمر فيه carbon dioxide gas. Why? The reason due to the formation of calcium carbonate which is insoluble in water. بسبب تكون مادة بنسميها calcium carbonate وهي مادة insoluble in water، مادة غير ذائبة في الماء. So we can test for the presence of carbon dioxide. ممكن أكشف عن وجود الكربون دايوكسيد by lime water عن طريق وجود مادة اسمها lime water أو مية الجير. So again, lime water is used for what? Is used for testing for carbon dioxide. تستخدم للكشف عن الكربون دايوكسيد. So again, the question says clear lime water. ليه lime water الكلير ماء الجير الرائق الرايق يعني مش متعكر؟ بيتعكر if carbon dioxide gas passes in it. لو عدى فيه غاز كربون دايوكسيد لأنه بيكون مادة بنسميها calcium carbonate. So the answer will be that due to the formation of calcium carbonate بسبب تكون مادة اسمها calcium carbonate. طب ايه العلاقة بين التربيتي العقارة ووجود الكالسيوم كربونات؟ المادة ديت بتكون insoluble in water ما بتدوبش في المية، عشان كده بتعكر مية الجير which is insoluble in water. So again the question says that clear lime water gets turbid if carbon dioxide gas passes in it. The answer would be that due to the formation of calcium carbonate which is insoluble in water لأنه غير دائب في المية. Another question says that the environment suffers from the increase of carbon dioxide gas percentage. Again, the environment suffers from البيئة بتعاني من increase of carbon dioxide gas percentage زيادة نسبة كربون دايوكسيد. طب ايه اللي يحصل لو الكربون دايوكسيد زاد؟ For example, it will cause two problems. بيسبب على الأقل مشكلتين. Because the increase in carbon dioxide gas in air causes suffocation يعني الاختناق، تحس الناس مش قادرة تتنفس، and global warming الاحتباس الحراري، ودي مشكلة إن شاء الله we will discuss هنناقشها in details بالتفاصيل in prep 2 إن شاء الله في المرحلة اللي جاية، مرحلة إعدادي أو تحديدا في الصف الثاني الإعدادي. Okay? Again, the question says that the environment suffers from the increase of carbon dioxide gas percentage. البيئة بتعاني من زيادة كربون دايوكسيد جاس. ليه؟ Because the increase in carbon dioxide gas in air causes suffocation and global warming. بيسبب اختناق واحتباس حراري. Okay? Again, although carbon dioxide is important برغم ان هو مهم جدا for photosynthesis process للبناء الضوئي، لكن برضه زيادته حاجة مش كويسة جدا، حاجة خطيرة جدا، انه بيسبب suffocation and global warming. احتباس حراري واختناق. Another question, another type of question. what happen if. what happen يعني ماذا يحدث لو. لازم نفرق كويس قوي بين what happen if and give reason. what happen if I need the result، عايز النتيجة، وأحيانا بيكون نتيجة غير منطقية. يعني for example مثلا لو قال لي what happen if there is no medulla oblongata in the human body. طبعا مش ممكن يكون حد مخلوق أو مولود من غير medulla oblongata. So I can say he cannot control the involuntary processes. يبقى what happen if بحتاج فيها الريزلت النتيجة مش الريزون مش السبب. So again we must differentiate between what happen if and give reason for. What happen if needs the result بيحتاج النتيجة اللي ممكن يحصل لو ده موجود. لكن give reason I need the reason. So let's practice for this question. The question says that what happen if the light bulbs in the house are connected in series. احنا درسنا في first part النهارده او راجعنا النهارده ان light bulb are connected in parallel. طب لو هما متوصلين in series for example some electrician بعض الفنيين الكهربائيين غلطوا ووصلوا all the lamps in series. What happened? All when one of the lamps is damaged or turned off all the other lamps in the house will turn off. لو في لمبة واحدة أو مصباح واحد اتطفى أو اتحرق أو اتشال مكانه أو أي حاجة أي سبب all the other lamp will turn off. كله هيطفي معاه. So this way for connection, this series connection is not good for our house. مش طريقة كويسة عشان نوصل بيها bulbs أو lamps inside our house or inside our home. Why? Because if one lamp damaged or turned off, all the other lamps in the house will turn off. Again, what happened if the light bulbs in the house are connected in series? When one of the lamps is damaged or turned off, all the other lamps in the house will turn off. Another question of what happened again. A plant is kept in the dark for a long time or for a long period of time. What happened if a plant is kept in the dark for a long period of time؟ اللي يحصل لو في plant حبسناه أو حطيناه فترة طويلة في الظلام ما تعرضش لللايت. What happened? The plant cannot make photosynthesis process due to the absence of light. البلانت مش هيقدر يقوم بعملية البناء الضوئي بسبب absence of light أو غياب الضوء. So the plant surely will die. Again, what happened? If the plant is kept in the dark for a long time, the plant cannot make photosynthesis process due to the absence of light. بسبب غياب الضوء. Another question. It will be what happened also. What happened if the moon lies in the penumbra area of the earth? What happened if the moon lies in the penumbra area of the earth? All the moon lies in the penumbra area of the earth. Surely we will have a very important or special type of lunar eclipse. It will be semi-shaded lunar eclipse. So let me remind you, خليني أفكركم تاني what are the type of lunar eclipse. And we know that lunar eclipse needs two conditions. That those two conditions شرطين مهمين جدا. Is that the sun, the earth, and the moon are all on one straight line with the earth in the middle. إيه هو شرط lunar eclipse؟ يكون الsun والمون والأرض كلهم على نفس الخط. لكن مين هو اللي في الميدل المرة دي؟ Surely it will be the earth. So let me draw. Imagine that there is the sun. Okay, نرسم مع بعض. This is the sun. The earth here. Let me draw the mechanism of lunar eclipse. This is the earth. We know that the sun light travels in a straight line like this. Okay, like this. So we know that the moon is relatively small compared with the size of the earth. If all of the moon here in the area of umbra, it will be total lunar eclipse. If a part of the moon, لو في جزء في القمر here in the area of the umbra and another part in the area of penumbra, it will be partial. So let me write here number 1, number 2, and number 3. If the moon all in the area of penumbra, يعني لو المون كله في منطقة الأمبرا هنسميها total lunar eclipse. لو في part في الأمبرا part في البينامبرا هنسميها partial lunar eclipse. لو المون كله في البينامبرا زي السؤال دوت هنسميها semi-shaded lunar eclipse. So we have 3 types which are total lunar eclipse, number 2 partial lunar eclipse, and number 3 which is semi-shaded lunar eclipse. So let me summarize what the three types occur in or where they occur. Total occurs in the area of umbra. Partial occur when the moon part in umbra and the penumbra. Semi-shaded occur in the area of penumbra. So we have three types of lunar eclipse, which are total, partial, and semi-shaded. We have no type of annular lunar eclipse. It's about solar eclipse only. We have three types of solar eclipse, which are total, partial, and the last one, which is called annular, اللي بنسميه كسوف شمس حلقي. لكن في الاكليبس which is deal with the lunar eclipse اللي بيتعامل مع القمر, we have no annular, we have only total, partial, and at last semi-shaded. And each one of them needs a special area to occur. بيحتاج منطقة خاصة بيحصل فيها, أو لما بيكون القمر بيعدي في special area بيحصل نوع من eclipse. So if all the moon in the area of umbra, we will have total lunar eclipse. If a part of the moon in the area of umbra and another part in the area of penumbra, we will have the partial lunar eclipse. And if a part of all the moon, in the area of penumbra, it will be semi-shaded lunar eclipse. So we have three types of eclipses about the moon, and all of them depend on the area of the moon. So another question, which is what happened question. Again, I remind you, the question says what happened. The root hairs the root hairs don't secrete a sticky substance. We know that root hair secretes sticky substance. Why? To ease the penetration inside the soil. عشان نسهل عملية اختراقها داخل التربة. So what happened if the root hairs don't secrete a sticky substance? Surely the root hairs cannot penetrate through the soil particle. root hair مش هينفع تخترق السويل بارتكل easily بسهوله. يبقى ربنا بيخلق الروت هير sticky substance, ماده لزجه, to help it in penetrating the soil, تساعدها في اختراق السويل particles. Another question. The filament of the light bulb is made of iron. The filament of the light bulb is made of iron. The question says again what happened. اللي ممكن يحصل لو الفيلامنت is made of iron. We know that the filament is made of tungsten. Why? Because tungsten has high melting point than the iron, than the copper, and than the other elements, all the other elements. So what happens if the filament of the light bulb is made of iron? Surely the filament will melt at high temperature. الفيلامنت هتتحرق أو هتنصهر عند حرارة عالية جدا. So it will not give out light. بالتالي مش هتنور. So again the filament will melt, هتنصهر at high temperature. Again the filament of the light bulb is made of iron, so the filament will melt at high temperature. Another question. What happens if a man touches uncovered wire carrying current? اللي يحصل لو في شخص لمس uncovered wire, سلك مش متغطي كويس وكمان بيكون في تيار كهربي. Surely it will cause electric shock. He will be shocked by an electric shock. He will be shocked by an electric shock. Okay, another question. Cellular membrane is not present in the root hairs of plant. Cellular membranes here means what? الغشاء الخلوي أو الجدار الخلوي اللي موجود around all the cells of the plant or of the root hair. كل root hair cells, كل خلايا الروت hair, كل خلية حواليها جدار بنسميه cellular membrane أو غشاء بنسميه cellular membrane. And this membrane control the passage of substance through in and out the cell. هو بالظبط بنشبهه كده كأنه هو الباب اللي بيتحكم في دخول او خروج اي substance, اي ماده داخل الخليه. طب تخيل بقى لو ما فيش membrane او ما فيش باب, so we cannot control, مش هقدر اتحكم. Okay, so again cellular membrane is not present in the root hairs of the plant. The answer will be that the plant cannot control the passage of salts it needs. مش هينفع يتحكم في الاملاح اللي بيحتاجها البلانت. طبعا كل بلانت بيحتاج special salts, املاح معينه عشان نموه هو شخصيا. For example مثلا strawberry, الفراوله بتحتاج salts غير الليمون, غير الاورنج, غير الابل, غير الكريس, الجرجير. اي بلانت في الدنيا بيحتاج salts معينه. عشان كده ربنا خلق له او خلق للروت هير membrane بنسميه cellular membrane, جدار خلوي. It controls the passage of salts it needs. لو مش موجود الممبرين ده, the plant cannot control the passage of salts it needs. مش هيتحكم في اي املاح محتاجها. كل الاملاح هتدخل في وقت واحد وتخرج في وقت واحد, فبالتالي النبات will not benefit مش هيستفيد from these salts. So again this membrane is very important because what? Because it controls the passage of salts it needs. Another question. Choose the correct answer. Choose the correct answer. Again, I advise you, please read all the choice. اقرا كل الإجابات. Why? Because maybe there are more than one answer correct. ممكن يكون في أكثر من اختيار صح. ممكن A and B, A and C, all the previous, and so on. So let's start. The point is the main source of light on the earth. The point is the main source of light on the earth. The moon, the sun, stars, fire. Surely it will be the sun. الشمس هي المصدر الرئيسي للضوء على سطح الأرض. The sun is the main source of light on the earth. Another question. Root hair secretes what substance? Root hair بتفرز مادة watery, light, thin, sticky. Sticky substance مادة لزجة عشان تقدر تسهل عملية penetration through the soil. اختراقها داخل السايل. Again, root hair secrete sticky substance during penetration in the soil to ease this process. Again, root hair secretes sticky substance to ease the penetration of the root hair inside the soil. Another question. The partial solar eclipse occurs in the area of penumbra, umbra, antumbra. No correct answer. Again, the partial occur in the area. We know that the partial occur in the area of penumbra. عشان ما ننساش البارشال بيحصل في البينامبرا يبقى the letter P with the letter P. partial أولها P وبينامبرا فعلا أولها P. But what about the total? It occurs in the area of umbra. What about the annular? It occurs in the area of antumbra. يبقى برضه annular أولها A وانتمبرا أولها E. ناخد بالنا كويس قوي. Partial occurs in the penumbra but annular occurs in the area of antumbra. لكن التوتال بيحصل في الأمبرا. Another question. The filament of the light bulb is made of tungsten. ليه معمولة من tungsten? Because it reacts with oxygen. It has low melting point. It has high melting point. It has low density. ليه الفيلامنت معمولة من اللايت bulb? Because it has high melting point. Again, because it has high melting point. Again, the filament of the light bulb is made of tungsten because it has high melting point. The dark shadow of the earth is called dark shadow. الجزء المظلم من الأرث when the earth faces the sun. اتفقنا من شوية في الرسمة اللي فاتت إن في two main areas which are umbra and penumbra. مين هو ال dark shadow area? Antumbra, penumbra, umbra, negative shadow. Surely the answer will be umbra. ده umbra أو بنسميها الظل. وطبعا كلنا أخدنا بالنا إن كلمة umbra أكيد جاية منها كلمة umbrella. عشان كده الشمسية بنسميها umbrella لأنها بتسبب dark shadow area منطقة مظلمة. So again, dark shadow area of the earth is called umbra. So what about the penumbra? The penumbra is a faint shadow. هو ظل بس خافت شوية مش قوي قوي. ظل مش مظلم تماما يعني. So again, the dark shadow area of the earth is called umbra, but penumbra is a faint outer shadow. Another question. What's meant by? What's meant by is a very important question, and we must know how to write the definition. So we must practice from now on the definitions definitions which we have studied this year. So let's start with a very important process which is a transpiration process. Transpiration process أو عملية النتح. It's a losing of water in the form of water vapor from the plant leaves or from other green parts to surrounding through holes called stomata. طبعا سؤال شكل طويل أوي لكن ممكن جدا نعمل له abbreviation أو نختصره. What's meant by transpiration process? We can say that it's the losing of water in the form of water vapor from the plant. full stop. يبقى ممكن أقول هو فقدان المية في شكل بخار مية من النبات أو من أوراق النبات بس. Okay? So again, it's losing of water in the form of water vapor from the plant leaves full stop. Again, transpiration process عملية النتح. It's losing of water in the form of water vapor from the plant leaves. Another question. Electric shock الصدمة الكهربية أو الماس الكهربائي. It's the result of an electric current passing through the human body. هي نتيجة مرور التيار الكهربي through the human body داخل جسم الإنسان. Again, electric shock is the result of an electric current passing through the human body. Again, electric shock is the result of an electric current passing through the human body. Lever. It's a rigid bar, straight or curved. Again, it's a rigid bar, هي ساق متينة, straight or curved, that rotates around a fixed point called fulcrum. بتدور حوالين نقطة ثابتة بنسميها الفالكرم أو محور الارتكاز. And we know that fulcrum has a symbol O. عارفين كويس قوي إن الفالكرم ليها رمز O. And is affected by an effort force and resistance force. تأثر بقوتين، قوة بنسميها effort force قوة المجهود and resistance force قوة المقاومة. So again, lever, it's a rigid bar, straight or curved, that rotates around a fixed point called fulcrum and is affected by an effort force and resistance force. Electric current, التيار الكهربي. We must differentiate between electric current and also electric circuit. التيار الكهربي والدائرة الكهربية. Electric current is the flow of electric charges or electrons through a material conducting electricity. هو سيل من الشحنات الكهربية اللي بنسميها electrons داخل مادة موصلة للكهرباء. For example, the electric wire or the copper wire and so on. So again, electric current is a flow of electric charges, electrons, through a material conducting electricity. داخل مادة بتوصل الكهرباء. Again, electric current is a flow of electric charges, electrons, through a material conducting electricity. Semi-shaded lunar eclipse. Semi-shaded lunar eclipse, it's a very important definition, which means that it's the lunar eclipse which occurs when the moon enters the semi-shaded area. All the moon زي ما درسنا من شوية الدياجرام بتاع lunar eclipse، لما القمر كله يقع في منطقة البينامبرا هيدي حاجة اسمها semi-shaded lunar eclipse. So it's the lunar eclipse which occurs when the moon enters the semi-shaded area or penumbra of the earth in which the moonlight turns to be faint without being eclipsed. بيكون ساعتها المون ما بيحصلش اكليبس فعلا، لكن شكله بيبقى اغمق شويه وبيتحول للون الاحمر، عشان كده بنسميه سيمي شيدد لون اكليبس لانه اسمه مشتق من المنطقه اللي حصل فيها اللي هي بينامبرا او سيمي شيدد اريا. Another definition or another type of question. This type of question says that correct the underlined word. صحح الكلمات تحتها خط. We must read the question carefully to know how to answer this question. So the question says that human body is considered as bad conductor of electricity. ليه بعتبر human body bad conductor? Surely human body isn't bad conductor. Human body is good conductor. So again, the answer would be that human body is good conductor because human body contains water and salts inside her body. So surely human body is good conductor. So human body can be subjected to electric shock. ممكن جدا يتعرض للصدمة الكهربية لأن الإنسان أو جسم الإنسان contains salts بيحتوي على أملاح and water. And the salty water is a good conductor of electricity. Another question. Stem extends and penetrates in the soil to increase the absorption process. الستيم بيمتد داخل التربة عشان يزود عملية الامتصاص. لا طبعا surely it will be the root. الجذر هو اللي بيمتد داخل التربة عشان يزود الابsorption process عملية الامتصاص. Again, root extends and penetrates in the soil to increase the absorption process. Another question. In the partial solar eclipse, the sun appears as a lighting ring. In the partial solar eclipse, the sun appears as a lightning ring. So here, the sun appears as a lightning ring in the annular solar eclipse. In the annular كسوف الشمس الحلقي اللي بنسميه annular solar eclipse, the sun appears as a lightning ring. Another question. Nutcracker is used to pick up the very small materials. Nutcracker, كسرت البندق, is used to pick up very small material. Surely wrong, because tweezers are used to pick up very small material. الملقاط زي ما بنسميه أو tweezer or forceps ممكن كمان نسميه forceps is used to pick up very small materials. Forceps or tweezer is used to pick up very small material like what surgeons use during operations, as I said before. Write scientific term, another type of question, and I advised you before. Read the question carefully, especially the first word or the first two words. An enlarged gas that is used in the electric lamp. الغاز اللي موجود جوه اللمبة, surely it will be the argon enlarged gas. Argon enlarged gas is used in the electric lamp. Argon enlarged gas is used in the electric lamp. Another question. The material that is used in putting out electric fire. Surely we cannot use water. But what can we use? We can use sand or fire extinguisher. ممكن استخدم sand, رملة, أو fire extinguisher, الطفاية الحريق. So again, the material that is used in putting out or extinguishing out fire, surely it will be the sand. The phenomenon by which water transport from the soil to the inside of root hair. الظاهرة اللي بتنتقل بيها المية من السايل لداخل الشعاعات الجذرية. Surely it will be osmosis process أو عملية الضغط الأسموزي أو الخاصية الأسموزية. Because we know water transfer from the soil to the root hair from high concentration of water to lower concentration of water, or from lower concentration of salts to higher concentration of salts. So again, we know that the concentration of salts is the opposite to concentration of water. So osmosis is a very important process by which water transport from the soil to the plant roots or to the plant cells. يبقى زي بتنتقل المية من الروت أو من السايل للروت نفسه by a process which is called osmosis process. This osmosis process means what? Means transferring of water from higher concentration of water to lower concentration of water, or from lower concentration of salts to higher concentration of salts. So they are opposite. يبقى دايما الميه بتمشي من التركيز الاعلى للميه التركيز الاقل للميه، او التركيز الاقل للاملاح للتركيز الاعلى للاملاح، هم عكس بعض تماما. So again, water transfer from the soil to the plant roots by a process which is called osmosis process، او عمليه بنسميها الضغط او الخاصيه الاسموزيه. Another question says that levers that contain or that have the resistance between the effort force and the fixed point. من الليفر اللي عندها resistance between the effort force and the fixed point, surely it will be second class lever. We know the secret word. كلمة سرية هي كلمة ORF أو ORF. The R in the middle, it will be second class lever. If O in the middle, it will be first class lever. If F in the middle, it will be third class lever. So, another question. The type of eclipse that can be seen at night only. ايه نوع الإكليبس ممكن نشوفه بالليل بس؟ Surely it will be the lunar eclipse because we cannot see the sun at night, surely. Again, type of eclipse that can be seen at night only, lunar eclipse. Lunar eclipse is a type of eclipse that can be seen at night only. So, we have another type of questions. Let me collect them. Now we have another type of questions about what we have studied all this year, first term and second term. So we must concentrate of this question. So again, the question says that the human skeleton, another question says that the human skeletal system consists of two main parts, which are axial skeleton and appendicular skeleton. Axial skeleton and appendicular skeleton. We know that the human skeleton is a very important system inside our body because it gives us the shape, it's the axis of the body, and it contains axial skeleton and appendicular skeleton. Another question. The axial skeleton consists of three parts, which are skull, الجمجمة, backbone, and ribcage. Let us revise another question. The axon of the nerve cell is surrounded by what sheath? غلاف اسمه ايه? Myelin sheath. The axon of the nerve cell is surrounded by myelin sheath. Okay, the point is the site of point. The point of the site, okay, is the point of 2 points meeting. Sorry, the point is the site of 2 points meeting. The joint is the site of 2 points meeting. المفصل, and we know that we have three type of joints, which is the unmovable joint or immovable joint, مفصل غير متحرك, such as the joints of the skull زي مفاصل الجمجمة, and slightly movable joint such as the knee joint or the elbow joint, and at last the third type, which is freely or widely movable joint, which is the or for example the joint of shoulder, the joint of the thigh, of hip, and so on. So we have three types of joints. We have studied them in details, and we have also example of each one of them. Another question says that the gray matter in the spinal cord appears in the shape of the letter H. The gray matter المادة الرمادية موجودة في السباينال كورد أو النخاع الشوكي بشكل حرف H. Another question says that point gas is used in filling car tires, but point gas is used in dry ice. Point gas is used, nitrogen is used in filling car tires, but carbon dioxide gas is used in dry ice. We know that nitrogen is a very important gas because it has the highest percentage. Let me revise with you the percentage of each gas. We know that نكتب مع بعض ratio of each gas, our percentage. Nitrogen, the biggest one, which is 78%. Oxygen gas, which is 21%, second gas. And the least gas, أقل غاز, carbon dioxide, 0.03%. So what about water vapor and other gases? Water vapor and other gases, they are small ratio. They are a small ratio and variable because they are not fixed at all the days of the year. So we have many important of gases. We have studied each one of them, and by this point we have reached the end of this episode. I hope you every possible success. Please study hard, and if you have recorded this episode, you can revise this question again and again, and you can answer any question from any source, from school book, from any book, from any page on the Facebook. You can answer, you can revise, and you must do your best to have good marks at this exam. So now, thank you and goodbye. We will see or we'll meet again in the next semester, inshallah. Thank you and goodbye.